Daf Yomi tractate Bava Batra 155b. It was the middle of something. So Akiva said to them, Rabbi Akiva said to them, "It is not permitted for you to disgrace him for the sake of a monetary claim." He was a minor at the time of his death, and then they wanted to dig him up and see if he was a minor. And Rabbi Akiva said that this is a disgrace, and besides, you wouldn't be able to tell that much after someone died. So it's even more disgraceful, I guess. I don't know. Rabbi Zera explains the objection granted according to the one who says that the heir can sell the property once he's 18 years old. Now we're on top of 155b with the words Hainu. Hainu de Ka'asu v'amrule mahul bodko. Ela im apre ben Esrim ki badku le mai havi. V'hatznam ben Esrim shlohevi shtei saros yavi uraya shehu ben Esrim v'hu hasaris lo choretz v'lo yabem. This is the reason that they came and they said to Rabbi Akiva, "What is the halacha? Is it permitted to examine the corpse?" But if you say that he can sell property from the time he is 20 years old, even if they examine him, what of it? But didn't we learn in the Mishnah Nida 47b with regard to a 20-year-old man who did not develop two pubic hairs? Proof must be brought that he is 20 years old, and then he is no longer considered a minor. And he is the sexually underdeveloped man who is excluded from the mitzvah of levirate marriage. Therefore, if his married brother dies childless, he neither performs chalitza nor enters into levirate marriage with his widow, since a 20-year-old is considered an adult, even if he has not developed the signs of puberty. There is no reason to examine the body. Okay, next. Lav itmar alei Amar Shmuel bar Rav Yitzchak Amar Rav Vehu shenoldo bo simoni soris Amar Rava daikanami diktoni vehu hasoris shmamino. The Gemara replies, wasn't it stated with regard to that Mishnah? Rabbi Shmuel bar Rav Yitzchak says that Rav says. And is this the halacha only where he developed the signs of a sexually underdeveloped man? Otherwise, a 20-year-old who has not developed two pubic hairs is still considered a minor. The examination of the deceased could therefore be effective to see if he has other signs of being sexually underdeveloped. Rava said, the language of the Mishnah is also precise as it teaches, and he is the sexually underdeveloped man. The usage of the definitive article indicates that the Mishnah is referring to one who is clearly a sexually underdeveloped man. The Gemara affirms one can conclude from the Mishnah that the Mishnah is speaking of one who developed the signs of a sexually underdeveloped man. V'chi lo noldu lo simani soris ad kama tone Rabbi ad roiv shenoisov. Ki also the kama Rabbi ki o I ki chesh omer lehu livrei v'i ibri omer lehu lichesh dehani simani zimnin da'as machs b'chishusa zimnin da'as machmas b'riusa. The Gemara asks if he did not develop the signs of a sexually underdeveloped man. Until when is he considered a minor if he does not develop two pubic hairs? Rabbi Yehoshua teaches in a Batra he is considered a minor until most of his years have elapsed, meaning until he is 35 years old. When the case of one who has not developed pubic hair would come before Bechia, he would offer the following advice. If the person was thin, he would say to those appearing in court, cause him to become fat. And if he was fat, he would say to them, cause him to become thin. This is because these signs indicating puberty sometimes develop due to excessive thinness, and sometimes they develop due to corpulence. Huh? Make him fat? How do you make somebody fat? You force feed him? I don't know. Okay, Iboiluhu. Toch zman, kilfi zman, kilifne zman, o kalachar zman. O toch zman, kilifne zman, o kalachar zman. Amar Rava, Amar Yahweh. Rava said to Rav Nachman, toch zman, kilifne zman. Rav Shila, Amar Rav, toch zman, kilachar zman. A dilemma was raised before the sages during the time in the year during the time of year when the minor comes of age with regard to selling his deceased father's property during his 18th or 20th year. This is considered as before the time he comes of age, or is it considered after the time? Does one come of age at the beginning or the end of the year? Rava says that Nachman says during that time he is considered as before the time, and he does not come of age until the year has elapsed. Rava bar Rav Shila says that Rav Nachman says during that time is considered after the time, and he is considered as having come of age during that year. V'hadarava lo pirish itmar ela mikwala itmar dehu toch zman zman de'ozol zabin nichse ve'asa lekame derove aber lehu lo yasa v'lo klum man dechaze sovar mishum detoich zman kilifnei zman velohi Hasem Shtusa Yetzira Chazave Tehave Kamishach Elohu Le'avde. The Gemara notes, and this statement of Rave was not stated explicitly, rather it was stated by inference, as there was a certain person who was, during the time of year when one comes of age, who went and sold his father's property, and the case came before Rava. Rava said to the litigants, he did not do anything. The sale is not valid. One who observed Rava's ruling assumed that he ruled in this manner because he maintained that during the time when he comes of age is considered as before the time. But that is not so. The reason for Rava's ruling was that there, Rava observed excessive mental incompetence in the behavior of that individual, and he was emancipating his slaves. Since Rava saw that he was mentally incompetent, he invalidated the sale. Okay. Sholach leGidol bar Menashe leRave. Yilabdei Rabbeinu Tinoikas bas 14 shana. V'yom echad yodas b'tiv ma'aseh matan. Mahu. Sholach le'im yodas b'tiv ma'aseh matan. Mekach mimkar. The Gidol bar Menashe sent an inquiry to Rava. Let our teacher instruct us with regard to a girl who is 14 years and 1 day old, who understands the nature of business negotiations. What is the halacha? Can she sell property that she inherited from her father? Rava sent a reply to Gidol bar Menashe. If she understands the nature of business negotiations, her purchase is a valid purchase and her sale is a valid sale. But the Gemara asked, but Gil could have sent his question. So with regard to a boy, why did he not do so? Ma'aseh shehaya kach haya. Our answer is the incident that took place in this way. Don't have me chanting with different what you could have said. This is how it happened, and that's it. Ma'aseh shehaya kach haya. Vilishlach leim atnagas bas 12 shanav yom echad ma'aseh shehaya kach haya. Okay, the incident that took place in this way. The Gemara asks, but could he have sent this question to Rava with regard to a girl who was 12 years old one day, at which age a girl reaches her majority? Why did he not do so? The Gemara answers that indeed that took place in this way. Okay. Not bad. V'had Rava la beferish itmar ela miklala itmar dehavi pachos mi ben esrim dazal zavi nechse avua ki gidol marbenasya amar asal kam derava amar le kroive zil achol tamari ushidi be kashyasa be Rava avad hachi amar lahu zivni lav zivini. Okay. The Gemara notes that this statement of Rava was not stated explicitly, rather it was stated by inference, and it was inferred from the following instance that there was a certain person who was under 20 years old and understood business negotiations who went and sold his father's property in accordance with the ruling that Rava sent to Gil Barbanasya, and the case came before Rava. The son's relatives said to the one who sold the property, go eat dates and throw the pits into Rava's house, in order to prove that their relative was not mentally competent. He did so, and Rava said to him, his sale is not a valid sale. Okay, maybe standing up will be better. Get some blood flow. Okay. Okay. Here we are. We're standing, and it's a little better now. A little bit better. A little different. What are we holding? Go eat dates and throw the pits into Rava's house. I just got some dates tonight. I just ate some dates tonight. It's pretty interesting. Kikas hule shtara amrle lekoichas zil emel Rava megias Esther bezuza shtara demar. Azul amar lehu zvini amar le krova lekoichas ag ruhu amar lehu mazbri le savar kevan de mazbri le. When they were writing for him a writ containing the decision, the buyer said to the seller, in order to prove that he was mentally competent, go and say the scroll of Esther, which is a large scroll, is bought for dinar. Why then does the short writ contain master's ruling also cost a dinar, which was the scribe's fee? The seller went and said this to Rava. Rava said to him, his sale is a valid sale. The boy's relative said to Rava, the buyer taught him to say that. The Rava said to them, even so, when they explain the matter to him, he understands. Since when they explain the matter to him, he understands, he knows what he is doing. And the reason that he acted in this manner, throwing the pits into Rava's house, was because of excessive impudence that was in him, not mental incompetence. Amar Rav Hune, but I did Yehoshua Edus Amar Zutra. Lo Amran Elam Tatli Aval Karkai Lo. Rav Huna son of Yehoshua says with regard to the testimony of one who is not old enough to sell property that he inherits from his father, his testimony is valid testimony. It is valid. Rav said we said that his testimony is valid only with regard to movable property, but not with regard to land. Amar Vashi the Marzutra Maishra Metalli Dizvini Zvini Ella Miata Hadaran Tois Mikacham Mekach Mimkar Metalin Achinami Dusnadus overlay Hasam Ena Amdushne Shimeleka. Ravashi said to Marzutra, what is the way? In what way is movable property different from land? It is different because with regard to movable property, his sale is valid sale. But if that is so, consider what we learned in the Mishnah in Gittin 59a: a purchase made by a young children is valid purchase, and the sale made by them is a valid sale. These halachot apply to transactions involving movable property. It is property that also, in the case of the young children, their testimony is valid testimony. Isn't it established halacha that minors are disqualified from bearing witness? Marzucha says Rav Ashi there, with regard to testimony, I require the witnesses to be mean, as the verse states, the two men shall stand, Deuteronomy 19:17, which is interpreted as referring to witnesses, and this requirement is not fulfilled in the case of young children. Amar Meimar, Ravashi Lememar, Hashdo Azavin, the Amrit Law, Dilma Mazul Mazabin, Koshkain Matana Lamati, Lev Lamidi, Amarle. So this is the last piece of the Gemara. With regard to time, okay, we're doing pretty good. Amir says with regard to one who is not old enough to sell property that he inherits from his father, if he gave a gift from the property, his gift is a valid gift. Rav Ashi said to Amir, now if with regard to sale, in which he receives money, you say that the sages instituted an ordinance that he is not authorized to sell, lest he reduce the price of the property and deplete his father's estate. All the more so in the case of a gift, he is not authorized to give a gift, but a gift as nothing at all come into his possession and in exchange. I mean, verse says Ravashi, and we'll have to finish in the next Daha. Oh, nope. What are we holding? Nice.